Hi, this is Wade with Dominion Real Estate, and in this video I want to talk to you about the home buying process. Well, hey, congratulations, the seller accepted your offer. The first thing you need to do is get that earnest money check over to the title company, and that should happen within 24 hours. The next thing is the home inspection, and usually they have a 10-day inspection period. And what that means is the buyer hires an inspector that goes out to your house and inspects all the functions of your home. And if that goes well, they won't ask for repairs, but if they do ask for repairs, they put it in a formal form called a BINSR, a buyer inspection notice seller response, and they detail exactly what they want you to do to repair things in your house. And you can go to your realtor and see which ones you want to repair and don't want to repair and work all that out. After that process is done comes the appraisal process. And that differs from the inspection because that is more like a value process. And so they compare the value of the contract on your house to the values of homes that recently sold in the area. And all through this time you're going through the lending process, and you need to get with your lender, and as soon as the contract's accepted, your realtor needs to send the contract over to the lender, and the lender starts the underwriting process, and I'm sure they ask for other paperwork along the way, and you just need to keep up and make sure that they get all the paperwork they need promptly. And then during this process, usually in the first 10 or 15 days, you should look for homeowners insurance. A good recommendation is whoever you have your car insurance with, maybe you call them and get a quote from them and get another independent quote, because usually I like to see at least 2 or 3 quotes to make sure you get the best deal. And then as the process goes along, maybe a week before closing, you need to call the title company up and schedule a time to come in and sign. And remember, when you go to sign, generally they want 2 forms of ID as well as the money to close. And you can talk to them about how they prefer the money or how you would prefer to give them the money, whether it be by wire or certified check. And then you need to call the utility companies to schedule them to turn the utilities on in your name. And you have the final walkthrough usually within 3 days of closing. And all that does is make sure that the house is in the same condition as when you wrote the contract on the house. And then by then, you're ready to get your keys and you should be on your way. Anyway, this is Wade with Dominion Real Estate, and if you have any questions about this process, please feel free to give me a call. Thank you.